episode of Rebel Access. I'm your host, Nicole. Tonight we're here at Metro with the band Fear Factory. That being said,
I am Dino Cazares, the guitar player of Fear Factory.
And what does Fear Factory mean? How'd you guys come up with Fear Factory?
Fear Factory actually, we had a whole list of names back in the day of 30 names. And sorry about that. It's really busy back here backstage. We're here at the Metro here in Chicago, and it's just a really hectic day today. I got two bands playing tonight. I got Divine Heresy and Fear Factory, and I'm doing double duty, so it's been really hectic today. So if you guys don't mind the noise in the background, that'd be great. Fear Factory was on a list of names, and I remember Factory was on the list, and our roommate decided, hey, why don't you put Fear in front of it? And then that's kind of like how the name came about. But the meaning, we decided to, we got to come up with a meaning of it, and we're like, well, what is a fear factory? And basically, fear factory is anything that causes or makes fear. It could be anything from the government, church, religion, school, just anything like that that causes fear.
That's a very broad range there. How'd you guys form, and how long have you been a lineup?
We've been a lineup for almost, in October will be 20 years that we've been together. And the lineup kind of started when me and Bert were roommates in Hollywood. And we found out we were both musicians, and we started bands together, you know what I mean? Started doing local industrial kind of metal bands and stuff like that. And then it just kind of eventually molded into Fear Factory. Oh, well, with me on it, it's been 4, but there's been out 6 albums. Plus, remixes and B-sides and, singles and stuff like that. There's so many, I don't know, maybe 12, 13, something like that. I'm on 5 albums? I'm on 5 albums, there you go. I lost count. Yeah.
Okay. With your latest release, what is your latest release? I have no idea. I don't know what it is. And what would you like your fans to know about it?
Our latest release is an album called Mechanize, and me and Bert, I just came back into the band. I was gone for a few years, came back into the band, and we wanted to bring it back to its true form, because when I was gone for a little while, music kind of changed a little bit, and so I wanted to bring it back to what it was back in the demanufacture era. For a lot of you who don't know what that was, it was a record that came out in 1995, and that was like our most classic album. And so I wanted to kind of bring it back to that, and that's pretty much what it is.
Well, with that being said, what would you say is your musical influences growing up that inspired you?
Well, there's so many different things. I mean, when I first was a kid, it was, of course, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, and it just kind of grew from there, and it got heavier and heavier and heavier, into the Metallicas and the Slayers and the Iron Maidens and stuff like that. And then it got even more extreme than that, like Napalm Death, the grindcore scene, the death metal scene, and also the industrial scene, bands like Ministry, Godflesh, Nine Inch Nails. I got into all that stuff too, and just me being into the metal scene, and Bert was really into the industrial scene. So our influences kind of clashed together, which is what influenced us to do Fear Factory.
What song would you say that you guys do that really gets the crowd going the most?
Wow. I would have to say Shock, which was a song off Obsolete. Demanufacture, Replica is our biggest song. It's basically a metal anthem, and we play that song worldwide, and people just go crazy for it. We play in front of we play festivals anywhere between 50 to 100,000 people, and you see all those people singing your song. It's pretty cool.
What's your favorite song to play?
Wow. Oh, man, I have so many to play. I think South by Sister is one of my favorite to play live, just because it's just ripping, it's fast, it's catchy, and just, note-wise on the guitar, I love it.
What's a must-have for you backstage?
Computer, laptop, my new iPhone 4, my iPad, slippers just to be comfortable, and something to drink.
Slippers is probably the best one about all that. What would you say to aspiring musicians who want to be in the position you're in today?
AC/DC said it the best. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, and they got it right. You know what I mean? It's really rough. You know what I mean? If you have to be really committed, and you have to make a lot of sacrifices to be in a band. You know what I mean? Being away from home is rough. You know, some people have wives, families, girlfriends. It's really hard to be away from home months and you have to sleep in a van with a bunch of dudes or a bus. Everybody's farting and shit on the bus. Bunch of smelly guys playing shows. Don't really get showers. You don't get to sleep right. You don't get to eat right. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifices. Number one thing is you gotta when you're starting a band, you gotta find guys who you know are in it for the long haul, not just to try to get laid or just a party. You gotta get guys who really want to be in a band, really want to play drums, guitar, bass, vocals. You got to get solid dudes. Once you get a good solid lineup, then you got to number one thing is do a great demo. 2, find a good lawyer, because once you get a lawyer to help you shop, and basically it protects you, from getting ripped off, and the rest is you just got to go on the road and do it.
You definitely have to be passionate about it. It's one thing, you got to find people with passion. What's in the future for Fear Factory? What would you say?
Touring, and more albums. We're gonna basically, we've been on tour since December of last year, and we're gonna be on tour till sometime next year, 2011, and then we're gonna start writing a new record and have it out either late 2011 or 2012.
Kind of a knockoff of that. What would you want all your fans of Fear Factory who watch Rebel TV? What would you like for them to know?
I want them to know. I wanted them to let them know that we are very thankful for them supporting the band, for all those years, coming to our concerts, buying tickets, buying T-shirts, coming to all our signings, buying our CDs, because I know it's really rough out there, and I know, the economy is really bad, and a lot of people, they have mouths to feed and stuff like that, and I really appreciate them going out there and buying our stuff and supporting us.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us on Rebel Access. I know it was thrown in there last second, so we appreciate it.